Yeah, that's about right. Alright, fellas, time for a frank discussion. I don't know how long this'll be, but I just gotta say it. Gotta shout the obvious truth from the top. You've seen the title, so let's not even waste any more time. The Nintendo Switch Online service is garbage. Now, if you're a longtime fan of my channel, and I mean really long time, almost day one, then you know I've already talked about this, and since that video, it's only gotten worse. So, in case you don't already know, Nintendo Online, as the title of their YouTube videos call it, is a software that you get for free when you purchase the service. It allows you to play NES and SNES games. When it first came out, it was actually pretty hot, and when they started releasing more games for it, they were games that you'd expect a service like this to have. Your Marios, your Zeldas, your Kirbys, as well as others. There were some more interesting, not so obvious choices, but games that you could still warrant a reason for being there. But now, oh boy. About 2 days ago, at the time of me making this video, Nintendo has blessed us with the next games to be added to the services: Claymates, Jelly Boy, and Bomboozle. And if you don't know what those games are, then congratulations, you're the majority. 3 games that barely anyone has ever heard of. 3 games that aren't regarded as classics in the gaming world. 3 games that, let's be honest, don't need to be here. I honestly don't know what Nintendo is expecting when they pull stuff like this. People aren't going to jump for joy for games like Jelly Boy or Spanky's Quest, because that was added a few months ago, or some other game that barely anyone has played. With this whole situation getting progressively worse, with them just releasing obscure game after obscure game, I tried to give the benefit of the doubt here. I think of some reason why they would add these games. My guess is that Nintendo wants to showcase more of their library, show off what they believe to be these diamonds in the rough, these assumed to be ultra hidden gems that any gamer looking for a new experience would be able to sink their teeth into. Here's a problem with that, however. These games probably aren't those hidden gems. I mean, I don't know, but from the short footage they've shown in the update video, Claymates and Jelly Boy seem like run-of-the-mill platformers, and Bomboozle seems like a decent puzzle game that no one is going to care about, which is another problem. People don't care about these games, at least not today. These are games you don't look twice at. These are games your parents get you because they think the characters look cute. There really is no reason to play these games or have them on this service, especially when there is still far more iconic games that you could and should be adding, which is another problem. Mega Man 1 through 7, the X series, Mario RPG, the many numbers of Final Fantasy games across both the NES and SNES, Earthbound, heck, the original Mother 1 would be fun to see. It really isn't just a case of Nintendo only putting lesser known games that no one will care about and never play. It's Nintendo actively ignoring obvious choices that would bring a lot more credibility to these services and also put it in a more positive light. They don't even have to completely leave out those oddball choices that the majority of people, including me, will never play. The like to dislike ratio may be heavily leaning towards the latter, but there are people that still found this to be a net positive, and whether or not those are just Nintendo fanboys that'll defend anything they do, or actual fans of these games, or genuinely found them interesting, they'll play them. But Nintendo could very easily cater to both by having 1 or 2 games be well-known and iconic titles, then have 1 or 2 lesser-known releases. Or they could have just blown through all the classics, gotten every single one up on the service, and then started releasing more obscure games. So when people start to complain and say, no one asked for this garbage pick, you could very easily make the valid and reasonable argument that there are just no more iconic titles left. Heck, maybe the reasoning for putting these games isn't even to cater to that niche group of gamers that want lesser known titles. Maybe they're just buying their time, adding in all this filler, so when they do actually release a title we want, it'll seem more important than if they just released it without all this filler before it. And if that is actually the case, then I'm sorry, that just doesn't cut it. You could have had these games on the services day one. You could have put them on there instead of these games that only cater to, once again, an extremely niche group of your audience. People aren't even going to rejoice if, and hopefully when, you put these obvious choices on the service. There isn't going to be any jumping for joy. There's going to be millions of people thinking, wow, it took you this long to put that obvious of a game on this service. Are you so productively inept that you can't even make such simple business decisions? You guys really have become the laughing stock of the gaming world. To end things here, it really does feel like Nintendo is starting to lose their touch. A bold statement, I know. But seriously, this is starting to get ridiculous, and when it comes time that my year of online runs out, I doubt I'll renew it. Nintendo is just showing a complete lack of care when it comes to online. They really do just not care. It's becoming more and more obvious with every single game they add to the service. I do hope one day this video isn't relevant anymore, and the online services are filled with classics after classics, but until then, I'll just be staring at Spanky's Quest asking myself, why? So with that all said, I'm Easily Easy, and I'll see you next time.